Welcome to the channel Adam's Adventures, and today I visited another ruined castle which is quiet in a preserved state and looked after. Dunstaffnage Castle and its chapel included. The castle dates back to the 13th century, making it one of Scotland's oldest stone castles in a local group which includes Castle Swen and Castle Tyrone. Guarding a strategic location, it was built by the MacDougalls Lords of Lorne and has been held since the 15th century by the Clan Campbell. Dunstaffnage is maintained by Historical Environment Scotland and is open to the public, although the 16th century gatehouse is retained as the private property of the captain. The prefix Dun in the name means fort in Gaelic, which the rest of the name derives from Norse Staffness, headland of the staff. There was a castle here in the time of Summerland, Lord of the Isles. However, the castle became the seat of Duncan MacDonald, Lord of the Lorne and grandson of the Summerland, in the second quarter of the 13th century. He had also travelled to Rome in 1237 and was the founder of the nearby Ardchatton Priory. Duncan's son, Ewan MacDonald, inherited his father's title in the 1240s and expanded the MacDonald influence, styling himself King of the Isles, though that title belonged to the MacDonalds. It is probable that Ewan built the 3 round towers onto the castle and constructed and enlarged the hall inside. Following Alexander's third repulse of the Norse influence in Argyll, the MacDonalds backed the Scottish monarchy, and Ewan's son Alexander was made the first sheriff of Argyll in 1293. However, they supported the Baelor side during the Wars of Scottish Independence, which broke out a few years later. Robert Bruce defeated the Clan MacDonald at the Battle of the Pass of Brander in August 1308. After a brief siege, King Robert took control of the MacDonald castle of Dunstaffnage. He did not destroy it, and as he did others, but appointed a constable and provisioned it, thinking to use it to guard the countryside and seaways. With the land he gave his friend Angus Og MacDonald, Lord of the Isles, that included much of the MacDonald lands, including nearby Mull. The castle could be well used for that purpose by the Islemen. Now a crown property, Dunstaffnage was controlled by a series of keepers. James first seized the castle in 1431, following the Battle of Inverlochy, as his enemies were hiding inside. 1455, James Douglas, 9th Earl of Douglas, stayed at Dunstaffnage on his way to treat with John MacDonald, Lord of the Isles. This followed James II's attack on Douglas' power and led to the signing of the Treaty of Westminster Ardtornish. A later keeper, John Stewart of Lorne, was a rival of Alan MacDonald, and was stabbed by his supporters on the way to his marriage at Dunstaffnage Chapel in 1463, although he survived long enough to make his vows. Although MacDonald took the castle, he was ousted by James III, who granted Dunstaffnage to Colin Campbell, 1st Earl of Argyll, in 1470. The Earls of Argyll appointed captains to oversee Dunstaffnage, and kept it in readiness on their behalf. Changes were made to the buildings, particularly the gatehouse, which was rebuilt around this time. The Campbells were loyal allies to the royal house, and Dunstaffnage was used as a base for government expeditions against the MacDonald Lords of the Isles, among others, during the 15th and 16th centuries. James IV visited Dunstaffnage on 2 occasions. Dunstaffnage saw action during the Civil War, holding out against Montrose army in 1644. The castle was burned by royalist troops, following the failure of Argyll's rising in 1685 against the Catholic James VII. During the Jacobite risings of 1715 and 1745, the castle was occupied by government troops. Flora MacDonald, who helped Bonnie Prince Charlie to escape from Scotland, was briefly imprisoned here while en route to imprisonment in London. The Campbells continued to add to the castle, building a new house over the Old West Range in 1725. However, the rest of the castle was already in decay. In 1810, an accidental fire gutted the gatehouse, and the captains ceased to live here, moving to Dunstaffnage House, some 2 kilometres to the south-east. Tenants lived here in a 1725 house within the castle until 1888. Restoration work was undertaken in 1903 by the Duke of Argyll, the castle's owner. This was followed in 1912 by a court case in which the Court of Session ruled that Angus Campbell had the right of residence of notwithstanding the Duke of Argyll's ownership. Works were delayed by World War I, and the planned total restoration was never completed. In 1958, the 21st Captain and the Duke agreed to hand the castle into state care, and it is now open to the public as a Historic Environment Scotland property. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe, like and comment, which shows appreciation on the channel. Stay tuned for more adventures in the near future.